Hello and welcome to Norway, Missouri, here at the Green Valley Speed Ring for what will be your second annual Utica Home Track Series Royal Rumble. We have 100 cars here today to battle for the victory in the preseason, along with getting some testing in on the side. Let's take a look at the rules for today. 2 cars will start off and 1 car will be added each round. The cars will be eliminated if they drive above the upper asphalt ring, or drive below the concrete ring, or can't maintain a pace of 150 miles per hour. The last car remaining, or the winner of the final 10-lap battle, wins the event and receives 10 bonus points for the season. The driver that stays on track the longest will receive 3 bonus points, and drivers who at some point were listed as being on track the longest receive 1 bonus point apiece. With that said, we are ready to get started for the first day of 5 in this competition. Let's see who starts us off. Alright, we kick off the 100 car event with Julian Kenneblez Jr. and Joseph Bryant. Now, Julian Kenneblez Jr. was the hotshot driver for Jeffrey Finn Guy Incorporated last season, picking off a win and having a great points finish of 7th, despite having that issue early in the season and missing a race. Kenneblez is currently going into this season with high spirits, hoping that he can recreate that former glory. Meanwhile, Joseph Bryant, car number 80, makes a pass to the inside. Now, Joseph Bryant is the teammate of the driver who invented the Royal Rumble, Seth Cole. Bryant just barely made the top 35 last year, and thus is now locked into the Bristol race, which will be coming up in about a couple weeks. But these two drivers on track last year had their own share of successes, their own share of failures. But this year is starting fresh. The Kenneblez machine has a new number, new sponsor on the number 80. So let's see what they can put together this year. Now, we're not going to see too much in the form of wrecking early on. They're going to try and keep it stationary because it also doubles as their test session. So the longer they stay in the event, the longer they get the test. But there's still that competition and drive to make sure that you can win. Just that I don't think this early these drivers are going to be at each other's throats, though you never know with Joseph Bryant, the trouble he got into last year. They cross the line and the 3-lap segment. Let's see who gets added to the fray. The next driver on track is the number 23 Prudential machine of Luke Walker. And already we have 3 wide as Joseph Bryant is going to dive to the inside and make a pass on Julian Kenneblez Jr. So Joseph Bryant, his aggressive nature has not stopped, as look at that, he makes a 3 wide and goes right to the lead. But Luke Walker, car number 23, making his debut in the Utica Home Track Series. He's running for the Pichu London team, along with his sister Leah Walker, and of course Pichu London. Now Luke Walker, he's been seen in several other series and has had some modest success, so he's hoping to bring that over to this series and hopes to be successful here as well. As we work on our second lap of racing, they're still running in single file. Again, we won't see too much in the way of trying to wreck each other just yet. These cars just got out here. They want to make sure they run a couple of laps a little bit before they can start turning each other off the racing surface. But Luke Walker making a confident move to the race lead, passing Joseph Bryant, which is something that usually people try to avoid, since Joseph Bryant is not the kind of driver you want to intimidate. But seeing as this is just a test session, I think Joseph Bryant might be a little bit cooler to the idea, as Walker currently sits in the race lead, Bryant in second, Kenneblez Jr. in third. However, this is not based on the position you're finishing at the end of the segment, since it's all randomly generated. It is all based on if you make it to the very end. And that ends this segment. Let's see who's going to be our 4th driver on track. Next up on track is car number 12, the Sprite machine of Megan Atkins. Now, I don't know terribly much about Megan Atkins. I've only heard of her just now. But all I do know is that she is a part of the Chris Dollarton team that's entered 3 cars this year. And I've seen her run in some NSCRA competitions, so a fresh new face in the racing world. Let's see how she can do. Now she's driving car number 12, which has had some modest success in recent years. It was the car that Connor Germain and Joey Beatty drove last year. So that number did well last year, maybe it could do well this year. However, it did not do particularly well the season before. It was driven by Connor Breton, and that ride did not fare terribly well. But right now, holding off these drivers in the race lead as Joseph Bryant makes a move to the inside of Julian Kenneblaise Jr. You know, Kenneblaise and Bryant, they've been really going at it on track, and I think they like the friendly competition as they continue around the circuit for one final time. Atkins in the lead, Bryant in second, followed by Kenneblaise and Walker. Looks like everyone keeping single file, trying to make sure their cars work in the draft well. Again, part of the test session aspect of it. But we're going to be getting a fifth driver on track soon, so that could complicate things. Here we go, a pass to the inside by Kenneblaise Jr. See if he has a car that's worthy of passing, and it looks like he does, as he's doing pretty well against Joseph Bryant. That ends this segment. Let's see who the fifth car is. The German driver, Cassandra Renzi, is in car number 33, and whoa, looks like Luke Walker does not get the restart that he wanted. Cassandra Renzi is running for the Arranged Media Group team that they've entered this year as a part-time entry. This car is going to switch faces a couple times this year. Its drivers include being Andrea Erickson, Kenny Bale, and others, I believe. I don't have the name of the fourth driver written down. But Cassandra Renzi currently tailing Luke Walker and driving pretty aggressively, making sure she's on the back bumper. So it looks like Renzi is less interested in the test session, more in just trying to send her opponents off the racetrack. Renzi, a very aggressive road race driver, currently running in the Utica Rallycross Series, driving the number 22, which was once the Alex Tanker machine. So she's going to finish out the season, so getting a lot of experience in Utica home track-based competition. As wow, we have 3 wide for the lead. Joseph Bryant, Megan Atkins, and Cassandra Renzi. Luke Walker is going to make a diving pass to the inside, and a lot of great racing out here in front of the pack as Renzi is going to lead it, followed by Walker. Oh, no! There's a wreck. 3 cars have gone off the racing surface. Megan Atkins is still continuing, but I'm not sure if she went off track at any time. Remember, you can't go below the asphalt, the white, or above the gray at the top of the racetrack. So we'll have to see if she stayed in those boundaries. As we finish off this lap, looks like it's going to be smooth sailing. Renzi finishes. Atkins, it looks like she stayed on the track. Let's take a look at a replay. Now looking at the top there, it looks like Kenneblaise clips Megan Atkins, heads down into the other 2 competitors of Walker and Bryant. Everyone goes sliding off the racing surface, and they're all eliminated. It looks like Megan Atkins did not go off the racetrack. Let's take a look from the hill cam. Now, here they are running in close competition. Yeah, she hits into Luke Walker and stays on the racetrack. So very good car control by Megan Atkins. Great job for the rookie. As it looks like 3 competitors are going to go out of the event. 2 are currently on track, and we're going to add 1 more to the mix. Let's see who that is right now. Here's Gabriel Montoya, car number 4. It looks like he's not going to get a very good restart, as Megan Atkins is going to dive down to the inside. Makes it 3 wide with the 3 cars currently on track. And it looks like Megan Atkins is going to get her way as she is working her way toward the lead. Cassandra Renzi heads to the back. Now, Gabriel Montoya, I don't know too much about. He's running with the Henry Nova bunch on Row 1 Racing, along with Ryan Astabomi in the 99 machine. But whoa, looks like Renzi on the back bumper of Montoya. Man, it's getting dodgy. Renzi, a very aggressive driver out there today. I think she's more in it for the sport of wrecking other cars. But Gabriel Montoya, card number 4, driving a very powerful number in the Utica Home Track Series. That was Matt Evans' number for the past couple of years. And that number has 7 wins under his belt, tying with the 66 of Brian Valentine. Valentine's not back this year, so Gabriel Montoya, big shoes to fill, despite limited background. But Montoya currently holding his own on track right now, competing with the likes of Renzi and Atkins, and laying down some solid lap times, so getting a lot of good practice for the team. We are currently in our third lap of this segment, as it looks like they're going to try and keep it green unless Atkins and Renzi decide to battle it out in the last turn. Montoya making a pass to the inside, a very risky move. It looks like it's going to pay off as Renzi's actually going to let him go by. He's got a lot of momentum, but that ends the segment. We're going to add a fourth driver to the track. Let's see who it is. And on track, it's the Flying Dutchman, Robert Piet, in car number 95, the Phillips machine. He's running for his own race team, which is a 3-car team. Oh no! Car off track, Cassandra Renzi, and she's barrel rolling in the first turn. And that's going to eliminate another driver from this competition. Robert Piet, not even getting to the first turn, already has an elimination as he turned Montoya into the 33 machine. So already, I think we know what Robert Piet's looking for out of this event. But let's talk a little bit about Robert Piet. He's a Dutch driver, one of the more famous drivers of the Netherlands in the Utica home track series. Currently running his first full season as last year. He only made 3 attempts, making one of the races. He's got a 3-car team this year with Sona Kors and Debbie Myers. He's also the president of NASCAR, which is a close friend partner of the Utica home track series. Robert Piet, a road race ace, really showing his all on the speedways as he's currently passing Megan Atkins in the 12. Now the number 95 car running on track in the lead, followed by the 12 machine and the 4. We're going to take a look at that replay of what happened to Cassandra Renzi right after the segment as we are on our final lap. Now Robert Piet actually does have a home track on the circuit in the Netherlands. Zandvoort is the track we'll be going to later in the year, so he's got to wait a little bit till then. But I think he'll be happy with the selection of tracks we have here as Megan Atkins trying to get a little bit close to Piet. Tries to make the pass on the inside. Can she make it stick? It won't. That ends the segment, and let's see what Piet did. Renzi was running on the bomb here, minding her own business. It looks like Piet just shoves Montoya down right into her, and look at that flip. That is quite the barrel roll as we go on board with the number 33 machine to see what she saw. Now the 4-car is just going to turn right into her, hits the inside wall, and that's going to send the car going over. A lot of air gets under it. Man, it's surprising that the camera did not get knocked out more. In the flip, I didn't even get to do the outro, as Chris Washer, car number 51, is on track driving the Guy roofing machine. He's currently teamed up with Ian Duda, and they seem to have made an alliance with their 2 teams. So they're working out of the same shop and hoping to have a good season with it. Now, Chris Washer has made a stint in the Utica Rallycross series, driving the number 10 machine as a replacement driver for Jake Williams, as currently he's riding aggressively on the back of the number 4 machine of Gabriel Montoya. So let's hope he doesn't send him squirrely too soon, or else we might have another wreck. But Washer only has 1 start in the Utica Home Track Series. That came at the Myrtle Beach finale, driving the 00 car. Make that the 55, as he was unable to bring his 00 to the track due to it being wrecked. Neil Evans decided to give a helping hand, let him drive the 55. Had a decent finish in the race, and I believe he was excited to come back this year as he made sure that he made that team alliance make sure that he had a car to run this year. Like most of the drivers in the series, he will be running the full schedule. And just as to mention, of the 100 cars on track, 99 of them are running the full schedule. The only car that isn't is the 79 machine, which is only running select races here and there. But a very impressive feat for this season. Washer out into the race lead right now as we end this segment going down the back straightaway. Let's see as we add what would be a 5th driver. We mentioned Robert Piet's teammate cars a little bit earlier. Sona Kors is one of them, and she's on track right now. Now, Piet Motorsports not very happy with the draw that these two got, as they're both very early on in the race, and it's very unlikely that they will make it to the finish. So they're just going to try and troop as far as they can, see if they can make it through. Now, Sona Kors, the real champion in the NASCAR Nationwide Series and the Modified Series for NASCAR, as she had some very strong performances in both. So she's hoping to bring that form of racingness. Oh, whoa, whoa! We have a wreck! Gabriel Montoya, Chris Washer, both flipping and twirling through the air violently. We will take a look at what happened there afterward as we continue on the second lap of this event. Man, what a wreck. It looks like those 2 days have ended early. Currently it's Piet, Atkins, and Kors, and it looks like now that they've seen that two cars have just went pirouetting through the air, none of them really would like that to happen to them. So they are going to keep it nice and green on track, running single file. The cars have been already slidden down to the apron. They've been off the racing surface. No cautions will be thrown, by the way, given that these are only 3-lap segments. Here we go. Looks like Sona Kors starting to catch up to the 12 of Megan Atkins. Not sure if she's going to make the pass. She's going underneath. Can she make the pass? Does she have the passing power to compete with Atkins? Atkins is actually going to try and close the door down. Let's take a look at the replay to see what happened as the session ends. Yep, we have 3-wide battle. Looks like, oh man, Robert Piet uses a move to wreck Washer and Montoya. He just cut in front of the number 4 machine. Oh, sorry, the 51. Let's take a look at this angle from Montoya's point of view. Yeah, Piet, a real wrecking machine today. Look at this flip, and we do not lose the camera even once, and even keeps it driving a little bit until the engine finally goes on him. One more camera angle. Let's look at the driver that got cut off by Robert Piet now. This 2-car draft was going pretty strong. It looks like Piet just like, I don't want to get wrecked by you two. I'm going to wreck you two. And look at that, the 51 car into the wall hard. Both of them get out all right, but they're not going to be winning. Skylar Dixon, car number 06, and looks like not a very good start for him, as Sona Kors is going to make it 3 wide for the race lead. Now, Skylar Dixon is the first of the 3 Oreo racing machines, along with Nick and Amanda Pericles. Now, Skylar Dixon, not much experience in this series, as this would be his first time in the race car. He has some starts in the Utica Rallycross series, well, actually only one up to this moment. And it was not too bad, so it looks like Pericles trying to make a nice development driver out of Skylar Dixon. As we have quite the battle near the front as it's 3 wide between Sona Kors, Megan Atkins, and Robert Piet. So let's see who has the better car. Inside lane is preferred. It looks like Piet's got it, and Megan Atkins gets a little squirrely off the nose of Skylar Dixon in the 06. So Dixon trying to show that he's a force to be reckoned with as he guns his way to the race lead. And it looks like Robert Piet's going to fall back a little bit. He's a little squirrely off the front of Megan Atkins. So a lot of dodgy racing in this segment as Sona Kors trying to sneak underneath, make sure that she doesn't end up like Cassandra Renzi when Robert Piet decides to do a jackknife move. But right now, the draft is going pretty good on the last lap. Skylar Dixon in the lead. Sona Kors can't seem to make the pass and is still stuck underneath, and she is worried as Atkins may not be so tolerant to Sona Kors being below them. Here we go, we crossed the line, and it looks like everyone's going to get by safely. So let's see who's going to be the 5th car on track. Thomas Beatty, car number 54, as Megan Atkins a little bit slow on the start. Beatty makes a little bit of contact. Thomas Beatty last season, whoa! Whoa! Did either of them go off track? I'm wondering. They went under the line, but it looks like we don't have the buzzer reading up on them. That's strange. We'll have to see what the official message handed down by those watching says. But at the current moment, Thomas Beattie going into the race lead. Whether he's in the race is currently in question, along with Megan Atkins. Thomas Beattie ran a modest schedule last year, coming in at about the midway point, a little before actually, making the Martinsville race his debut start. Now, he was driving the 11 car last year, switched over to the Kyle Busch 54. The team has big plans. They got Connor Germain with them coming back, and Joey Beattie, who had a good run, almost winning the Martinsville race, if only he wasn't 4 laps down in second place. And this is why they say that the 54 and the 12 are okay. They're considering that white strip there as part of the white on the top of the racetrack. That part is not considered out of bounds. So it looks like they get by on technicality. Though they did cross over into the gray area, it would seem that all other tires were not physically off the racing surface. So it looks like they will stay in because of that. They come to the line, and that's going to end this segment. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Still to come, Charles Sanford, Emily Ishter, Prudence Littlejohn, and much, much more here at the Green Valley Speed Ring. Hello and welcome back to the Green Valley Speed Ring for the second half of the first day of coverage for the Utica Home Track Series Royal Rumble. Let's see who's next. Charles Sanford is the 11th car on track for the Royal Rumble, and he's driving the number 9 machine for Cybertron Motorsports. Now, you may notice if you look at the roof of this car, the number seems to be upside down. Well, that's done purposely by the team, just to make it easier for the spotters to pick out their car. Now, Sanford is running as the teammate car to James Silverfox, who's driving the number 19 machine. Sanford's brother, Henry Sanford, is also on track. He's driving car number 20. He should be coming up later in the day. But Sanford, known for racing in several other series, has moderate success, so he's hoping to transfer over here that success. As currently, there's a draft line underneath him between Thomas Beattie and Robert Piet as they look to take the lead away. Now, again, testing session as well as competition for points. So we need to see how these drivers will conduct themselves on track, if they're going to go straight for the eliminations, or if they want to see just how fast their car is. Sanford starts to sink back through the field, along with Skylar Dixon. Megan Atkins driving underneath. She's currently been in this the longest of all the cars on track, though a couple of close calls have really scared her. Sonacor is currently in the lead. Thomas Beattie falling close behind, dead on the bumper of that machine. Megan Atkins goes underneath. Sanford drafting with Piet. So we have a 4-car draft on the top lane. 2 cars underneath. The 2 cars in the bottom seem to have a lot of speed, though. So they have the momentum and the preferred line. Sanford is going to switch to the bottom. As we continue, this is the last turn before the segment ends. And whoa, 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 whoa! Looks like Skylar Dixon's off track. But was he off track before we got to the line? We'll have to see if Sanford gets an elimination. Let's take a look at a replay of that. Yep, it looks like he goes way off track before the start-finish line, so sadly, Skylar Dixon misses being in the competition by just a few feet. So unfortunate for the Oreo Motorsports machine, he's going to have to go out of the race early, but there are still 2 more drivers on that team. Let's see who the next driver is to be added to track. Emily Ishter running for the Union Jack team, an underfunded English racing team, and is currently getting sandwiched between the slow car of Charles Sanford and the fast car of Sonacors. So let's hope nothing goes wrong there. As currently Thomas Beattie pulls out to the race lead. Emily Ishter, an affiliate of RG Motorsports and drivers of teams related to that. RG Motorsports is actually shutting down this year. They split their property to 2 teams. Chaos Racing, who's running a 2-car entry, and Union Jack, who's just turned a driver off track. We've got a crash! Robert Piet flying through the air! Charles Sanford's barrel rolling over. Emily Ishter is in the wall as well. Oh man. We have to see what's going on here. It looks like a lot of the field has been eliminated. We're getting a report only Megan Atkins is still listed on track. So, impressive run by Megan Atkins in the number 12 machine. As my God, what a wreck that just happened. As currently she's working her way through the smoke. Hopefully we won't come across any of the slow cars still limping around the racetrack. A lot of them, we see some smoke. I think that might be Emily Ishter, but fortunately she stays out of the way. Megan Atkins can continue driving. So now Atkins has the opportunity for some single car testing, as no one really can catch her. Sona Kors is still on track, but apparently she went under the line, so she will not be continuing in the competition. The run's coming to an end. Looks like Megan Atkins is going to be the only one that survives the carnage, as we take a look at a replay. Now what happened here was, it looks like two separate incidents. Looks like the teammates from the Piet Motorsports group and Ishter and Sanford both spun each other, but look at these flips. Massive tumbling and barrel rolling by these three cars, and they're all going to go out of the race. Let's take a look at some onboards. Here's Robert Piet, see what he saw. Now, he was not made contact with by another car, but actually turned down by the teammate, then hit by Charles Sanford. Look at that contact with the wall. Gets a lot of air and goes tumbling. You see Thomas Beatty just going for an absolute pummeling with that car, and this car is going to land on its roof. We lose the camera. Take a look at Charles Sanford, who is running right behind Thomas Beatty. It looks like he gets spun by Emily Ishter and takes Thomas Beatty along with him. Almost got away with it, but Piet got into him. And Sanford goes for a tumble as well, and my God, they went over the pit wall and into pit road. So just to show you the amount of air they had. One more angle. Here's Thomas Beatty. See what this was like. Get ready to be dizzy. It seems reminiscent of the Adam Dunlap crash from 2011. Let's look at this. My God. Thomas Beatty will walk from this. We'll see who's next, though. Well, after we eliminated basically the entire field, Prudence Littlejohn in car number 79 is on track, the unsponsored TVR. Now, Prudence Littlejohn is the only car on the grid that is not running all of the events. The number 79 machine is only making a couple of starts. They're going to attempt Bristol and the race at the end of the season at Myrtle Beach for sure. Friend of Prudence Littlejohn, Aussie Guilford Cockfosters, is going to be driving the car for Bathurst. But any other races after that are unknown and probably not happening. Though there are some rumors that she might attempt Lonesome Pines. But right now, only two cars on track. There's no need for these two drivers to be racing each other hard, so good opportunity to get some drafting experience in. Also, for Megan Atkins to keep boosting the staying on track counter. If she can stay on track for the longest, as we mentioned earlier, she will get 3 bonus points going into the season, which will be very helpful. But Prudence Littlejohn currently leading the two cars, the unsponsored machine. Not many unsponsored cars this year, so that's pretty good for these teams in this kind of economy, that everyone was able to get sponsors except 2. But maybe something will be put together for Prudence Littlejohn. We'll have to see. The team is very low funded, but they still keep coming to the track. And also, she's been doing pretty well in NSCRA Truck Series, driving a similarly colored vehicle, the number 20. But as we come to the line, this is going to end this segment here. And we'll add one more driver to the track, maybe get a couple extra on the racetrack. Car number 03, Hidoki Tanaka, is driving for Tokyo Racing in the number 03 machine, a rookie on the circuit. She's the teammate car to veteran driver Brandon Bain. Bain has been driving since 2012 and has been offering a lot of tips. But Tanaka, not much known about Tanaka. We don't have many notes on her, not familiar with her from any other series. So this is going to be yet another of many fresh starts. So this is their chance to show us what they have. But right now, Tanaka currently trailing the third of the 3 cars on track, and I'm actually pretty surprised near the front that Prudence Littlejohn's been keeping the lead in the underfunded car. But Megan Atkins is definitely putting up a challenge right behind as Hidoki Tanaka tries to get in on the action. Currently trailing behind, they seem to be running single file. Not too much on track at the moment because, again, this is more of a testing phase as Tanaka wants to see if they can pass See how well the passing is for the number 03 machine. Now, the thing I like about Tokyo Racing is the number scheme on their cars. Falcon Tires is the sponsor for the 03 machine, and they've used the tire as the O in the 03. Similar scheme for the 01 machine, the Oreos machine. They use the big old Oreo cookie as the 0. So, interesting paint schemes on those two machines. As we continue around the track for the final lap, Tanaka is going to pass Atkins. Little John still holding on to the lead, having a great run in the 79 machine. Maybe it'll transfer over to the Bristol event with ease. As we end the segment, we add a fourth car on track. Next up is the entry from Mayonnaise Racing, Jack Richards. This is the teammate car to Charles Jackson, who's a well-noted pop culture figure in the racing community. Charles Jackson will be on track, but at the current moment, Jack Richards driving the number 31 Farmers Insurance machine. So we will have to see how they do for Mayonnaise Racing, and it's kind of a surprise that Hellman's didn't jump on board with Mayonnaise Racing. Seems like a good sponsorship opportunity, but some excellent sponsors on these cars, and very unique paint schemes as well. As currently, we're running the single file route yet again, as Hidoki Tanaka has worked their way into the lead. Prince Littlejohn currently falling into second place. Maybe she's seeing how pack racing is, seeing as she's been out front for both segments. Megan Atkins is trying to make a pass underneath to show the dominance that car number 12 had early in the segment. As Jack Richards trying to catch up. Richards has been kind of falling behind here. I'm not sure if the car is struggling. So that's something that the team has to look at. As we head to the last lap of competition, he's caught up and is currently right behind Megan Atkins as Little John heads to the back, see how she runs in unclean air. Tanaka has been dominating this particular segment as we have a two-car battle between Richards and Atkins. So not sure if they're going for any eliminations yet or just to see how they run with the pack, but Little John making a very risky move under Jack Richards. Man, almost went 3 wide there as we end the segment. Almost had something at the end there. Let's add another car to the track. Next up on track is the first of the Fat Dog Racing machines, Ronnie Depetro in the number 2. This team is completely new to us. I've not heard anything about Fat Dog Racing, nor of any of the drivers on the team, which are Adam Kendrick, Ronnie Depetro, and Brian Judge. All of them will be coming up throughout the day. Depetro on track first, so again, another fresh start, a new beginning. Have to see what Depetro can do. Now currently running in the middle of the pack, we still have a single file theme to these events. It looks like, I'm assuming the big wreck scared a lot of drivers into racing because they want to make sure they stay in this and get the practice, and they don't want to wreck up their race cars. As we see, whoa, Jack Richards dives to the inside rather abruptly. I wasn't sure if either contact was made with Ronnie Depetro or if Richards was just trying a very sudden pass. But Atkins currently in the lead. Depetro is currently drafting, but that's not a safe drafting angle. 3 wide. Ronnie Depetro trying to thread the needle. Can he do it? Going through these drivers, and man, that's some excellent driving by Ronnie Depetro. Not an easy thing to do, split 2 cars on a relatively thin turn. That's not one of the wider parts of the racetrack. But right now, Depetro in the race lead. Little John followed him through, so it looks like Depetro and Little John really trying to show that they can race. And I'm actually very excited to see what Depetro can do this year. As we head down the last stretch, we're going to add another car just as they cross this finish line. So let's see who this driver will be. In one of the other few unsponsored vehicles, it's the number 35 of Jonathan Benton's for DHL Aurelio Racing. Now, Aurelio Autosport, as they were known as last year, has been having a lot of issues securing funding. And thus, they've teamed up with DHL, and they have been sponsoring the vehicles. Unfortunately, not the number 35 machine. They are currently withholding that. Just want to sponsor the first 2. They're looking for separate sponsors for this machine. Now, Jonathan Benton's is a road race ace. I think we're getting a report that there's a couple of cars eliminated. Depetro and Little John we're hearing are eliminated. So we will have to see what happened there, as they're currently running on the bottom lane. Would make sense. But Jonathan Benton's a Superspeedway ace from the previous season. Unfortunately, did not have... Whoa! Jack Richards roughing up the number 2 machine. Man, Jack Richards just does not want me to talk about Jonathan Benton's. But this car is being split between several drivers this year. Included are the Finnish driver of Conrad Wilson and Italian Adrian Felix. But, however, Jonathan Benton's will be running the first part of the schedule. So he is currently the one testing it to make sure that everything's well in order when they head to Bristol. But right now, Benton's having a great run, and this is definitely the track he specializes in, as the Superspeedways are his bread and butter. But right now, we have quite the draft line. Aggressive drafting by Prudence Littlejohn and Hideki Tanaka. Oh man, that ends the segment, but let's see what the replay holds as to why there was an elimination. Littlejohn, very aggressive on the back bumper of Ronnie Depetro, is going to send both under the line. And that's a shame. Both of them were really good drivers. I think they could have lasted a while, but unfortunately... Littlejohn's going to eliminate him. Let's see who's next. It's one of the American racing cars. It's Annie Thomas, car number 82, Amp Energy, the sponsor, driving the Audi. So Annie Thomas, part of the Daniel Voiles team, along with Tina Anderson III. Annie Thomas, I don't know too much about this driver. I think I've seen her in NASCAR competition occasionally. But I don't have any notes that support that, just going by past experience. But, whoa! That was a close call. Did Benton's go under the line? I'm getting a report from the officials. It seems that no, he just barely kept those two wheels on track, so... Close call for Jonathan Benton's, who was having such a good run. And now Megan Atkins on the back bumper of Benton's... Man, everyone's really ganging up on Jonathan Benton. I think everyone wants him eliminated. They think he's too good and might avoid the mayhem. But right now, Annie Thomas is going to slink down to the race lead. But we have a draft line in the middle of Hideki Tanaka and Megan Atkins. My God, they are going right through the middle, and a very aggressive driving here, but excellent skill shown on these drivers' parts. They just I think there's also a chance to show off. Everyone's on track. They don't have to worry about qualifying. Just mugging it for the crowd. And Tanaka is definitely trying to do that, as they try to split the middle. Tanaka going between Richards and Thomas. This is quite the battle to the line as we finish off the segment at 3 wide for the lead. Let's see who gets added to this now as things start to pick up. Three. And on track, it's Cole Daly in car number 69, the Viagra Machine. Now, Cole Daly is a rookie in the Utica Track Series, along with many drivers, but is experienced in racing. He's run a lot of NSCRA competition, where he's a familiar face. He's currently driving this number 69 machine this year. We'll have to see how he does on a single car team of CD Motorsports. Currently, 6 cars are on the racetrack, and that's when things start to get dodgy, like you see near the front with Jack Richards, Hideki Tanaka, and Jonathan Benton. So this is where we'll have to watch out. This is where stuff could start picking up, as a lot of our wrecks have happened. We've had 6 or more on track. The big one happened when there were 6 cars on track. So these drivers have to watch out, as currently it's a real scramble for the race lead as Jonathan Benton heads back to the front, like he's been doing most of his time on track. Hideki Tanaka currently on the top side of the racetrack. Megan Atkins running on the bottom. Cole Daly is running right on the back bumper of Atkins. Almost turned the 12 around. Right now, 3 wide for second place. As Cole Daly sinks to the bottom, Jack Richards is going to help. He's getting pinched, but ooh! Atkins tried so hard to eliminate the number 69 machine. Didn't work. We have currently 3 groups of 2 cars, tandem drafting down the back stretch. And it looks like Jonathan Benton is going to get abandoned. A lot of drivers not wanting to help him out today. I think they're a little bit jealous of his abilities. As Cole Daly currently running into the race lead as we come to the line. And that ends the segment. Next up is segment 20, the last segment of the day. Well, it looks like we have a little bit of happenings on the start. Hideki Tanaka is going to have a mechanical failure. It looks like they're saying it's a clutch issue. So car number 03 is going to have to surrender the spot and go out of the competition, which is a shame. Hideki Tanaka has been having a great run. Unfortunately, mechanical issues on the Tokyo Racing Machine. As we head to the front, it is Chloe Pemberton on the racetrack. Chloe Pemberton's a part of the three-car team of Pemberton Racing, along with brothers Derek and Cameron. They will all be coming up throughout the day. But right now, three-wide battle for the race lead. Atkins, Benton's, and Pemberton. Pemberton's going to be the loser on that. As look at this! Oh my god! So close. Daly almost eliminated. Richards almost eliminated. And Benton's and Atkins really hit into each other. So I think Benton's has had enough of being the person that everyone's just putting down today. Though he's going to sink to the back along with Chloe Pemberton. Up near the front, Daly is going to take the lead. Though it doesn't really matter about your position on track. It's more of survival, as we've been saying. But right now, Pemberton, the new entry on track, is currently falling behind. As we see some adjustments near the front, Richards is going to drop back. Pemberton running underneath, so that's going to gain her a spot on track, as Atkins and Benton's are right next to each other, and that could be a rivalry brewing as they battle for position. Daly currently in the lead. It looks like Annie Thomas wants to stick behind and try and get some drafting experience. But we come to the line. This is going to be the last segment of the day, and it looks like everyone is going to be safe as we cross the finish line. So, that will do it for day 1 of competition. Day 2 will have more in store with 20 more rounds out of this gargantuan event. I want to thank you for watching and join us next time.